Monarch butterflies are facing lots of threats to their population, and one of the threats that's causing their population decline is the lack of milkweed in the eastern United States. As part of our initiative, we've planted 3 different species of milkweed on Chief Logan State Park. This milkweed is something called the host plant. So this is the only thing that the caterpillars can eat and grow into an adult. So this is why we need to plant milkweed in and around our homes. Even if you can dedicate a couple square feet to native milkweed plants, that could subsequently help increase the monarch population and prevent these beautiful animals from going extinct. This species is swamp milkweed, and you can see that it reaches sometimes 6 feet tall or so. It has long, slim leaves. It does branch a little bit, which is uncommon compared to, say, like the common milkweed. All milkweeds make these big, beautiful flowers, very large flowers, and swamp milkweed is particularly fragrant. It smells like bubble gum. But this is not one that I would recommend planting in a home garden, but it is something good to have on your property. So if you do see it, try to leave it out there and let the insects utilize it. And this is the favored milkweed as far as monarch butterflies laying their eggs on it. This species is common milkweed. This is another of our native milkweeds. It requires very sunny areas, so you typically see it along roadsides, right-of-ways, and on the edges of crops and farmland. This is probably the most well-known species and maybe the most important for monarch conservation. It's very, very easy to propagate. All these spread by seeds that blow around in the wind. There are hundreds of species of insects that can utilize these plants. You have insects that act as herbivores. You have insects that act as predators to the herbivore insects. So on a single plant, you can find an entire ecosystem and you don't need to take a safari. It's all right here. If you have a lot of space, it's fantastic. It's what we want because we want these monarch caterpillars out here actually eating these leaves. So if you do plant some milkweed and you see defoliation or the leaves being eaten, you have to tolerate that because that's a sign that these insects are utilizing this plant, and that's exactly what you want. This species of milkweed is called butterfly milkweed, or sometimes people just call it butterfly weed, but it is a milkweed. It's a native milkweed. As you can see, it produces these beautiful orange flowers, and this is probably the best species if you're going to plant it in like a home garden, or you could even put this in a pot. It's very, very common with nurseries, so this is something that you could maybe find at your local nursery or even garden center. It's important to make sure though that the plants haven't been treated with any kind of pesticides, because in that case you probably won't get any monarch caterpillars on it. That sort of defeats the purpose, because what you actually want to happen is that these caterpillars come and eat these leaves and grow up into butterflies and fly back down to Mexico and start the whole thing over again.